Hey, Pat the Popper here, doing another Cardboard Conversations with the wonderful MTG Gaming crew. We've got both Matt and Bob on tonight. How you doing, fellas?
Hey, everybody.
Glad to have you here tonight. You know, just a nice light mood in the air. We were cracking some jokes behind the scenes. If you want to take any extra time to go ahead and watch some of that kind of content, maybe go ahead, push Bob and Matt for a Patreon. You'll see some sort of extra crazy stuff from behind the scenes. Maybe even from me. Who knows? Hit that button for the like and subscribe if you want to see more content from these guys. But until then, let's dive right in. It's been a pretty hectic little bit of time since Double Masters 22 came out. It's been about 4 full weeks as of yesterday. The market's gone pretty nuts for it. We've had an almost 50% increase from the time of pre-release to release. It seems as though the market for singles is stabilized a bit. But as far as sealed boxes go, let me know, guys, are either of you getting into that cracked mood? Are you open up some of that wonderful sealed product you have in your holds?
I opened one. I figured, I don't know, it was a long day after Commander, and I had contemplated opening one just because I like opening cards, and I've never opened a collector's product before, so I was like, let's, I don't know, let's bring it downstairs and ask if everybody wants to open a pack, and two of the 4 people wanted to open a pack, and decided, I was like, all right, well, I've got the means of recording downstairs, so I did it, and then shared it with you lovely folks. And it was definitely worth it. It was a fun experience cracking it with friends. I think that it would have been still cool outside of that, but I think it was more fun with friends. But yeah, I got a foil etch dockside extortionist. That was pretty good. I chucked it on the table on accident. I opened the pack and the card just kind of like exploded onto the table, and I flip open the pack and the first thing that shows is a dockside foil etch. I'm like, oh.
It's funny, I saw that. So you go ahead, check out that video over on their channel there. And that's something actually I wanted to get into later, and we might as well hop right into it, is that the foil etched in Double Masters 2022, the foil etch slot seems, terribly full of anointed. So we have all sorts of issues with the foil etching slot being filled up with cards, not of a random set, but of one single card. So have you guys in any of your small openings seen any of that?
I only opened one collector pack and 2 draft packs. I did not get an anguished unmaking, which seems to be the collation issue. I tried to wrap my head around that a little bit, and I know that it's a thing out there. Clearly, Matt didn't suffer from that on his box. He did not get an anguished.
And, you know, I also got in. I had 2 single packs that, you know, I did one. My buddy did one of the collector's packs. Neither of us got an anguish unmaking. We both had pretty good hits out of that set. We actually had a Phyrexian altar, which what actually prompted me into this was I did one. My buddy did one of the collector's packs. I got some of that terrible audio. There we go.
Feedback
so
loop.
Yeah, exactly. One of the issues that I saw with all of this duplication in that foil etching slot is that we might actually see higher price points for good pulls out of that slot because of that duplication. Do you think that's something that we might end up seeing? Are we going to have those really rare cards even shoot up higher in value in that specific printing?
Oh, I think if Dockside doesn't get banned from Commander soon, I think it's going to be a very pricey card in etched.
Oh, for sure.
I worry about Dockside, honestly. Honestly, 150 right now is a pretty good price for it, and I worry about it getting banned and then it just plummeting in price. That actually scares the shit out of me because it's a busted card. It actually probably deserves a ban.
You know, that's a great, actually, I like that point. Dockside at 150 versus Imperial Seal at 150, which honestly is a better value. Ed, that goes out to you too. Which do you think is better in your deck? Even at $75, Imperial Seal versus Dockside. Bob, would you want to weigh in on that conversation?
Well, I mean, clearly Dockside's a better card in most scenarios. I don't know that Dockside necessarily deserves a ban because we get into this ban hammer, ban happy. I guess you could say mindset that the card's powerful, better ban the shit out of it. Soul Ring, I hate to say it, that's pretty busted with what it enables. Think you might be muted, or am I just not getting sound?
Pound for pound, that's probably a better card than either Mana Crypt or Mana Vault. Soul Ring is absolutely powerhouse in any deck.
But you can't flicker Soul Ring and get a bunch of value from it. You can't. I don't know. It just you can't.
Okay, but you can't ramp. You can't ramp on turn 1 with Dockside either.
You can't go infinite mana or I don't know. It's
what you can go infinite mana with Soul Ring.
How?
Right into the hard questions off the bat. I like it.
You can absolutely get into infinite untap
Age Wither.
There's all kinds of. There are many ways to untap artifacts, right? So it's just another one of those that you get into that question of should you be playing these cards in a non-competitive setting? I think it's a perfectly fine card. I think they should unban Opposition Agent. I think that they should really balance in the scheme of all these. What do you think is more powerful, Balance or Soul Ring in the scheme of things? Balance doesn't make its way, even if it was unbanned, into the number of decks that Soul Ring does. Soul Ring's not a, optional card basically in Commander at this point, much like Arcane Signet and Command Tower. Those are like, okay, there's 3 of my 99. We need to come up with that. There's the 99. But we need to come up with like a number of like the 9 that make it into every, Commander deck, regardless.
A legitimate auto include. There's no good reason. I've recently started playing. Don't tell anyone. I started playing Arena again.
Ooh.
Yeah, but I've been doing that brawl thing, which is the half-assed way to get to Commander on Arena.
Yeah.
It's to be completely honest. They know that they are ilking something better than them that they have no control over. So they figured out a way that they could monetize, kind of like the thing you want to do. So I've been playing some of that because my buddy kind of pushed me into it. Now I'm playing a only mana symbol colored commander. It's a single green and white pip, the Trelasara. Now, I still put Soul Ring in it. It doesn't help playing my commander at all. It just helps playing Magic. Because let's be honest, putting Soul Ring in your deck makes you play Magic better. Sad to say, but doesn't it, Matt?
Well, yeah, but Dockside Extortionist in any deck also is better. If you play red, you play Dockside.
Not if you're not playing red.
Well, even there. Yeah, I guess that's the breakdown. If you can play it, you want to. If you can't, you wish you could. It's the same
thing
for
Smothering Tide.
Same
thing for Smothering Tide. Ristic Study. We could go on and on down this list. At what point do you stop the bannings?
I don't groan when people play a Soul Ring. I groan when people play a Dockside and then flicker their Dockside and then flicker their Dockside and then flicker their Dockside and then they have a Panharmonicon. They've got 50 treasures. They just won.
But that's a personal groan for you. There's a lot of people that groan the second the Soul Ring comes out on turn 1.
Oh, yeah. Yep. I played a game not too long ago. We had
turn 1, land, Soul Ring, Arcane Signet. Tell me that doesn't make everybody at the table go, ugh.
It just
we had 4 people go, ew, because only one person, 25% of our entire pod, didn't play a Soul Ring turn 1. Freaking hilarious. So I was the only person that didn't play a Soul Ring because I did a land into an Arbor Elf instead of Soul Ring. I played Soul Ring turn 2.
There's been I forgot who said it, but they were talking about the people that are able to play Soul Ring on turn 1 most of the time don't win because they become the target. Because everybody's like,
it would be the same thing for Dockside Extortionist too, right?
Yeah, but Dockside has way more impact.
Dockside has more.
I
impact
respectfully
later in
disagree.
the game.
I think they have impacts.
It
in
blows
different
my
ways.
mind that you think the Soul Ring is better than Dockside. It actually blows my mind. Dockside is absolutely insane. You must not have played against many Dockside decks.
All I'm saying, it in that limited scenario, because if you don't have red in your deck, Dockside does jack for that deck.
Yeah,
but
but we're
every
not
deck
talking
has a
about
soul
that.
ring.
Sure.
So that's my point, is that it's so ubiquitous. It's so busted that it's
Right,
in every
because of
deck.
how, since it's mono, since it's colorless, you'll end up seeing it in more decks. I definitely see that point. Whereas Dockside in red, of course, it being red, you will see it in such a high percentage of those decks that can play it because it's such a powerhouse. I get that
So-
as well. And man,
And I'm not saying that Dockside's not powerful. Of course I know it's powerful. It's a super great card. I don't think it should be banned unless you start going down this list. And then where do you stop that slippery slope of bannings? I don't think that Commander should have a ban list at all. That's what Rule 0 is for. Rule 0 should take care of any bannings whatsoever. It's not a
I do
tournament
agree
format,
with
and
that.
until they do support it as a tournament format, there's no place for a ban list.
I agree with that because, like, I was actually talking about the other day. I'm like, why is Prophet of Krufix banned? Like, what?
Why is balance
If
banned?
Seedborn Muse can be in the game, Prophet of Krufix, the only
Right.
thing it does over that is it's in 2 colors and it allows you to untap your or player creatures at flash. But yet it's the same kind of power as Seedborn Muse that if it has no protection, if it gets killed, nothing happens. That's it. It blows my mind that it's a banned card. Now I understand Primeval Titan.
I mean, I mean, I know that you've seen it with with Dockside Extortionist and blah blah blah. But let's say nobody else is playing artifacts. Dockside doesn't do much of anything. So
yep, it is
if
true.
somebody's playing a lot of
same thing with,
meltdowns
like
and-
Esper Sentinel. If no one else is doing anything, then it's not good. It's same thing with Mystic Remor and Mystic Study. If you're not playing those colors, and if they're not quite the play group that you're used to working with, if someone's not playing lands when you have a land trigger, just because it'll fuck with them. You got Burgeoning out. Okay, cool. Whenever you play a land, I play a land. You're going to skip a land drop turn 2 just to screw me? It's like when you try and get around some of those things. Like, if you're playing in a meta that doesn't have a lot of enchantments or artifacts, they're probably not playing a really high power either. I mean, realistically, what creatures matters only deck are you going to really play against? I don't see a whole lot of them. And I even run 1 or 2. My Edric deck is mostly creature matters. It's like 40 friggin' creatures, which is nuts. And I still have enough enchantments or artifacts where Matt would be pleased to play a Dockside with me at the table.
Even if you get 4 treasures from a Dockside,
you're
it's still
doubling your
insane.
investment. Yeah. And I mean, them being colorless as well. Being in a Jeskai or 3, 4, 5 color deck, dang, you're getting some good value out of it.
Like,
But
Soul
I mean,
Ring is
that
great,
was-
but Dockside is very oppressive. It has
I
more
mean, you
synergy.
can say that
in my
about a ton
opinion.
of cards, in all honesty. There's a lot of oppressive cards out there. And Dockside is just another one of them.
Put it this way, Dockside is the only card that our group has considered banning.
Okay. And that's your group. But there's others that have perpetual counterspells that are just oppressive as shit. Dockside doesn't do much against a Soul Scatter or a counterspell or a whole host of other counters. And
so,
they're
dual brain. Easiest way to do guess with OBS. So what I'm doing right now, I'm actually using OBS with the virtual camera, which is actually just my cell phone right here. And I'm doing a virtual camera streaming through StreamYard with a couple of buddies here. And this is the same setup I use when I do Spell Table. And with the utility of OBS, you can record stream. So if you want, you can just go ahead and record anything that you're looking at. So pretty interesting stuff. Go ahead. open up that whole world of content.
Hey, Clay, what's up?
Yeah, I mean, I know you have a thing against Dockside, and I agree that it may end up on the chopping block, but it's one of those things where I don't think that it should. Just like I don't think that Hull Breacher should be banned. It should, be a conversation for people at the table. That's what Commander's all about. Now, if they have tournament formats, which I've said, I don't know how many times, I think in order for Commander not to end up in this degenerate, unbalanced every time you go to a table, somebody's going to have an unbalanced deck. You need to have different formats, right? They need to come up with, just like they did in all of Magic. So understand that Magic itself, if you don't have these pretend formats that people have come up with, because they're just Magic cards that exist. They have the rules that can play them, whether they're Black Lotuses or Moxen or whatever. The only reason that you don't play those is because they're banned in that format. A format is a made-up thing, right? Just like Commander is. It's an agreed set of rules. But they opened all of those cards up to Commander. Well, the reason that you had those bannings and had these subgroups of formats in the first place was because they got too powerful. The power creep was super real. Like, oh, well, we can't have that. It destroys the game. So they started way back with Type 1, Type 1.5, Type 2, and they realized that the power, in order to keep making cards that people want to buy, they got to make powerful cards. And they have this erasing Etch-a-Sketch that they just reshake and make new formats because whatever format they've come up with ultimately ends up getting the power creep. And I think we're there already with Commander, and we need to have separate formats within Commander. So you have Commander Standard, Commander Pioneer, Commander Modern, Commander whatever Pauper, that you have to have these controls. I don't like ban lists just to go, oh, that shouldn't be allowed. We're going to say, no, that's no fun for you. So we say you can't play that.
And, as a shout out to Brian right there, it seems as though that's what Wizards is almost doing with Arena, with the way that they've set up Brawl and Brawl Historic, the way that you are or are not able to interact with that program. They decide what you can and cannot play as commanders. You can't just say, hey, I want to play Edric. Hey, I want to have X as my commander. I want to have this card. I want to play Kaikar today. No, you can't choose whatever you want. So they're whittling down, without the Commander Rules Committee, cards that they do and don't want. So I think that's something that we'll probably see continue going forward. We'll probably see more formats coming up, different ways to interact with the game. And I think we'll end up seeing some of them actually die off as well because of that. As new things pop up, we'll see some of the old stuff die off.
And I'm not saying that Dockside is going to get banned. I just feel like it's one of the most likely to be banned next, I think.
Again, I hate bannings. I hate bannings. I think they're not good for a casual format like Commander. Now, I think they are absolutely 100% necessary in structured formats for competitive play.
I mean, realistically, the ban list means nothing.
I agree with you. It's what you want to do with your buds, right?
Yeah.
Or whomever. The problem you have is when you go into like an LGS and you have that asshat that just wants to pub stomp somebody and it's a feel bad. And it's just, that's unhealthy. I hate anything unhealthy for the game. Even if I'm unhealthy for the game. I hate me then.
But Mind Slaver and Welding Jar aren't banned. Why can't I do this to you guys?
Right? It
all depends on the type of fun you're looking at having. If you want to go ahead and have a good time playing proxies with your good buddies, and you all agree to a certain power level, and you come in with $0 value, but you have an agreement in the way that you want the game to go, the way you want to interact with your friends, that's a real big part of playing Magic. If you want to come in and say, hey, we're doing a draft, we all put in a certain amount of dollar value, we can expect a certain amount of power out of this, let's go ahead and have a competitive time. Different type of Magic. As you go through and you play the game, depending on who you're playing with, it's more or less important to have those conversations. If you're playing CEDH, you might not even need to have that conversation. You all know showing up, we're going to bend these rules until they break. We're going to do whatever we can. Let's have the craziest, funnest time in Magic that there is.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, and Matt, I do see your point with how powerful dockside extortionist is. It really, truly is. But there, like I said, there are many busted shenanigans things that go on that I see all the time. And Ed, yeah, I mean, I think that's one of the kind of bigger news bits this week. I don't think that it has a tremendous amount of impact on the singles market, to be quite fair, other than maybe nuking Anguished Unmaking even farther and possibly making other foil etched cards more valuable if there's a disproportionate amount of Anguished Unmaking.
What's the actual official news? Because you guys are talking about it,
There
but I
is
don't
none.
actually know.
Oh, there's been
So
like
what
on
do
opening.
they think?
Zero official.
So let me break down
it
what happened.
It hasn't came out yet, or nobody's pulled one.
No. On camera, multiple like YouTube makers. I think Jake and Joel opened one of the boxes that all 4 etched foils in a box were Anguished Unmaking.
Yeah, it's
every pack
the
had them in the
opposite of
same
not
box.
pulling them.
And
The
it
issue
was
is that they're
reported
pulling too many of them
in lots of places. Yeah. So like it wasn't just one, and some people were saying that it was just from the second wave, but from what we understand, there was no second wave. It was just product held back at distributors, and that's according to Perp. So I'll give him the shout out. That's the Magic historian, had a lot of that information. So I don't have a lot of like any firsthand information, but I do know that it's a real thing. It'll be curious to see if WotC even acknowledges it. It's gonna be, I don't know how you compensate for that. Additionally, what about all the sealed holders, especially those with sealed cases and
I think
whatnot?
If anything, this would be better for sealed product holders, because you don't know if you're part of that 90% with Anguish Unmaking track printing issues.
I mean, unless they come up with a way to, for reparations for those that opened those and send in 4 Anguish Unmaking and get a Imperial seal etched, that kind of thing.
Yeah, right.
Well, I'm just saying that they could do something for that. What they can't fix are the sealed holders, right?
It's going to be hard to sell something if, I'm a pessimistic, so I see like selling something on eBay. They open it, they get 4 Anguish Unmaking, they think it's repacked, and then they complain to eBay. eBay instantly refunds without asking you any questions, and then you're screwed. That's what I see.
So, I'm just saying that it's.
Yeah, I didn't get a single one either, Twiddler. I opened one as well.
35 out of 40 Anguished Unmaking. Whoo!
That sounds horrible.
And that's one of the things that makes me think, hey, this etched foil Phyrexian altar, does that mean it's going to go up in price now that we are realizing that this slot is taken up in a huge majority of big issues?
I don't know. I think that the market will set the prices for singles regardless of all the other noise.
It sounds like a repack problem, but it probably is not. But it sounds crazy.
Not when you have it from multiple sources,
right?
And different channels and different. I think it's a lot of people want to think conspiracy. They automatically jump to conspiracy, like they did with the double masters cards being in the Commander Legends Baldur's Gate collector boxes. And I've said it before, like of all the things that I defend WotC, like the price increases, and you hear me defending WotC, I come to their defense often with that kind of stuff because that's just business. And we need WotC to be healthy if we want a game to keep going, right? So I'm all behind that, but I bash them on selling through Amazon. I bash them on their complete lack of quality controls. That seems, if I was over at WotC or Hasbro, I would be up in whoever the quality control person's ass is at WotC. I would be like, you need to fix your curled fucking foils. You need to stop putting products in the wrong products. You need to stop having collation errors, distribution problems. You need to stop announcing.
Get them.
hey, we're going to tell you and sell tickets for our 30th anniversary, one of the biggest events in the last decade. And we're going to tell you all about it and sell you tickets in July. So go ahead and book your rooms and your flights. But then they don't tell us about it in July.
Never mind. Just kidding.
Just kidding. So, I mean, somebody needs to get their shit together over there. I hate to say it, but that is not a tight ship. There's some holes in that joker, especially when it comes to quality control. And I think this anguished unmaking, wow, I didn't expect to get spun up like that. I think I need a gummy or some shit. But it's like, I get upset that people can't see that. Instead of seeing what the true issue is, which is way worse than the conspiracy, which is bad quality controls, right? That is a problem. Look what Flesh and Blood did. I know you've been in Flesh and Blood for a while, and one of the biggest complaints that I saw with the initial release, let's talk quality control, right? Do you remember what the big issue was? There was 2 issues with quality control on Welcome to Wraith, Matt.
The pink stripe was one.
The pink, right, was not red, right?
Yeah. There's normally supposed to be a red, yellow, and blue pitch. The pitch value up at the top is like a stripe.
But they ended up making them pink because the ink quality was just shit. What's the other problem that you had straight out of the packs? Rudy talked about it all the time when he was opening them. You could see it too.
I don't remember.
The corners?
Yeah.
It was infamous. If you're not familiar with it, Flesh and Blood had a problem. This is a quality control issue where they had bad ink making pink pitch costs rather than the red that they were supposed to be. And you would open valuable cards straight out of the pack damaged. The corners were notoriously damaged at the print run.
Well, that's a bummer.
That was a problem, right? Seriously, out of Welcome to Wraith, it was a serious problem. The only thing that made them super valuable is how rare they are, but they fixed it, right? They changed the pink to red ink. They stopped whatever was causing the damage at the print factories for the corners. And WotC, it's not like I'm Mr. Flesh and Blood. I have I'll level with you. I have some Flesh and Blood investment, maybe, I don't know, $4,000 or $5,000 worth of product at most, right? It's a very small, for my collection, part of my collectibles that I'm keeping. WotC needs to get their shit together with this. Like they need to stop all these various problems they have, from collation to curled cards, which I'll call damaged, print lines across the cards, which is just.
No, I absolutely feel that. I mean, I think the number one issue that people have as consumers, as players, buyers of Magic the Gathering, is that the quality of the product we're buying seems to continually go down. I've had a couple of videos where people comment saying that cards look glossy, even though they're not foil cards. Well, yeah, sometimes when they come from Japan, they have like a matte finish. They look different. So even quality cards coming out of WotC look suspicious to people because of the amount of times we talked about proxies and buying cards from non-WotC producers. People think when you get good cards nowadays, those might not be legitimate because they know buying them from the actual producer of this game that they might not get quality product.
I actually have something on that note that sorry, Matt, I'm going to spoil it for you right here on stream. You know what card making company had absolutely no problems with their quality? MakePlayingCards.com. Oh, is that backwards?
Ooh,
that is so backwards. Why is that backwards? That shouldn't be.
That would be one of my favorite things, is if we're the first channel that has an agreement with MakePlayingCards.com as a Magic the Gathering podcast. Our first sponsor is from a proxy, because
I actually made a set for. I have a set for you, Pat. I have a set for Matt and the boys out of our playing group. These are all foil beta double-sided dual lands. So these are the NPC foils, Matt. They came out pretty good. I mean, the picture that I gave them was probably not the best, but it came out really good. I mean, they look pretty sweet.
And that's awesome. I mean, the corners look wonderful. That's a quality looking product.
card is
Kamigawa
not.
packs that I just opened, they're already pringling.
These are not pringled. Of course, they're
Yeah,
double-sided
it's
foils, like I
funny
said.
to see that
So
nowadays, even the Double Masters 22 collectors that we're starting to see opened, some of those $80+ packs. Right now, just a month after release, we're already starting to see some pringling. So I think as
Well-
we go further along, keeping this as a sealed product, as Bob, myself, and Matt has also
Thanks,
said,
Clay.
keeping sealed Magic the Gathering product because of the unknown value inside of it has that extra value to it. It's like a beautiful woman wearing a one-piece bathing suit. Because she has more covered up, you're more interested. But when that bullet-ridden whore is dancing on the stage, you know all of the things that she has to offer. And that, unfortunately, is an open pack of Magic. Keep it
The,
sealed,
the,
boys.
the sad point I was trying to make there with the MPC is that this is now my second order from MPC, and the card quality coming from them is super high. Like a Chinese knockoff company making cards that I want to have them print up on demand
They're not
has better
Chinese.
quality
They're
than
located in
WotC, who's been
Ohio.
doing this for 30 years.
They're not Chinese. They're located in Ohio.
No, I looked it up. MPC, they mail it out of Ohio, but I looked it up. MPC is a Hong Kong-based company.
Oh, really? I was
Yeah.
say every time I've gotten stuff, it's from Ohio.
That's because that's just where the port that they send it through. But if you look them up on the webs, it'll tell you they're from China. And my point is that
Even that.
they're making
Yeah.
small quantity. It doesn't no
Well,
guarantee
I
for
mean,
return customers,
what,
and
to me,
their
as a
quality is still
consumer,
like
yeah.
I'm having more faith with MPC that I'm going to get a quality product than I do opening a sealed pack of Magic at this point.
Well, that's the thing. Like, if I'm paying someone to produce Magic cards in Japan versus producing Magic cards in China, okay, I'm already getting a product made out of country. So I have a different expectation in quality versus when Magic the Gathering is made in America. I cannot expect any better quality. But when I buy Magic cards from not Wizards of the Coast, I honestly do expect a higher quality. When I pay 23 cents for a foil version of Yavimaya Cradle, yeah, I expect it to be a higher quality than WotC prints and puts in a pack.
And that's
It's
sad.
ridiculous. It's I don't know if it's sad, it's disheartening. I can play the game better without Wizards of the Coast. And that's a tough pill to swallow right there.
So yeah, like I said, those are my bigger concerns. I keep saying it over and over again. So we could probably kiss off any kind of support from WotC ever for whatever we're doing online, because we definitely call them to the carpet for stuff that they do. And that's that. Like I said, I think those are much bigger long-term issues, right? I think that those are the kind of things that end up ultimately when you lose consumer faith.
And I mean, same thing. I guess with anything across the board, it's all about, as Moxman puts it, shop smart, shop S smart. If you know that you can get a $2,000 card for the price of 0.20, well, go ahead. Don't be a dummy. If you want to go ahead and use it, make sure your friends know that you're proxying things up. Make sure you have a good time with your friends, that you're not screwing over that power level, that you're having an enjoyable experience with other people who are spending their very precious time with you. That's what this whole game is about. Otherwise, if you're looking at the pure investment point of it, hey, don't look at these proxies. That's not for you whatsoever. Avoid it. This is all fire, get out of here.
I hear you, Clay. I actually bought 4 Smothering Tides back, before they shot up. I got them for $15 a piece, and they felt too smooth. It was his next comment where he says he returned them. And so I made a comment that I'm not sure that they're real. I didn't say that they were fake because it passed the green dot check and it passed the light test, but the texture just felt too good. And if you feel my Smothering Tides, you'll see it's like wow, those really do feel higher
So
quality
it's
than other
it's
Magic cards.
funny you say
They were
that.
from Japan. Was
So
that I read up on it? Is that there was like a higher quality
yeah.
difference in the Ravnica Allegiance for the difference in print runs from Japan and the U.S. Sorry, I didn't mean to step on you.
So funny enough, the proxy cards that Savannah Lions had sent to us, before I sent them out to you guys, I decided, hey, I wanted to take out my jeweler's loop and take a quick look at those cards. Because honestly, Matt, those proxies looked really good. So I pulled out my loop. I got real close. The rosette, beautiful. The only issue with those proxies of dual lands, honestly, too many dots. They
Too many
did
dots.
too good of a job printing their pattern. That's the issue. As you can tell right away, this is done too well.
Yeah, they didn't have really good printing back then.
Say that again.
They didn't have really good printing back then, so to have the better quality now, it makes it obvious.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate that's one of the bigger concerns for me is the quality issue. The collation issue, I just throw right into that quality concern bucket because I think it is a quality issue. It's the whole reason we even have legends in Dominaria United
Because of their inventory quality
their
control.
poor quality controls early on, and it's
Because
unfortunate
they have
that
a
they didn't get any better.
$250,000 of sealed product and they don't
How
know
fitting
what they
that
were
their
doing.
30th anniversary product, one of their 30th anniversary products has a collation issue.
Oh, who knows? We seem to have put a whole lot of shitty goblins in this Legends product.
But it's like I said, it's something I think that if I was over there, I would be kicking and screaming to have them fix. Is pay way closer attention to the quality and less about the amount of product that's going out the door for a short term to get the short term boost in profits. I think it's sort of mortgaging their future, so to speak. So I think that's a problem. You can't squeeze but so much juice out of the lemon before it's all gone. And if they
Oh my
squeeze too
God.
hard,
The funniest thing, that saying has come up so many times. Is the juice worth the squeeze? As we complain about the list spot, are we just going to see set boosters slowly go away? Like the amount of complaints, worthwhile and good, totally worthwhile, very valid. Our complaints about theme boosters, how terrible of an ancillary product those were. Oh, they went away. Now we have Jumpstart in every single standard product instead. I think enough bitching makes shit work. And I like that some feedback seems to have been taken into WotC's advertising and marketing campaigns. I think they've kind of overdone it now that we're seeing Jumpstart and Jumpstart every standard release.
Yeah. I think print run size is going to have a lot to do with Jumpstart products, right? And their value. I love the Jumpstart idea replacing the theme boosters. I think it is purely a brilliant move. I like the Jumpstart product. I hate the fact that they changed the number of packs in the box. That was straight dumb. Yep. It changed the way that it was even designed to work for like the number of people participating at a store to crack a box and how many people are playing out of that box. And they're charging the same price. Like if they were going to reduce the price, okay, and it's sort of like the hot dog and bun scenario where, got too many hot dogs, need to buy more boxes until it all equals out and makes the numbers work. But they screwed up the out of the box numbers that they came up with the 24 packs. Just makes it work.
The experience has definitely changed now. I think it was on purpose as well, to move product. Same things like we're seeing with Dominaria United. I think we're seeing a change in the product just to move product. I think that in all honesty, put on your hats here. We're going all crazy tinfoil. I think because Double Masters 22, the way that was the second wave of insertion of super rare cards. We saw the Neon Hidetsugu, which was just a reiteration of the invocations and inventions previously. We're seeing those chase cards more and more regularly in different formats, in different sets. And I think these legend cards are just the continuation of the previous textured foil. We've got that same exact 3% hit chance. Of course, you are getting, 3 times the amount of packs in a collector box? Absolutely. So you're going to see a lot more of these cards, way higher hit pool. So I think they're doing a lot of the same thing, but changing up the formula a little bit. They're definitely feeling out this space a lot. And I think going forward, we'll see a lot of this. I would not be surprised if Wizards surprisingly somehow found some really cool other cards to put in sets in like 2 years from now.
See, I think they would have been far better served had they just not put any of the commons into the pool. Like reducing.
I think we would have been better served.
Well, what I'm saying is it's going to be a feel bad, right?
Yeah,
and it's like the set boxes with the like, oh, I opened a whole set box and I got 8 list cards that total $1.35, all 8 put together.
Nothing.
And you're going to end up having that out of some of the collector boxes, which is going to be a negative PR. It would be better to hit 0, and then whomever does hit only gets like the rares, right? So instead of getting them in 3% of boxes, get them in 0.3% of boxes. Right?
Make them super rare, but also really worthwhile.
Or not 3% of boxes, 3% of packs. Get them in 0.3% of packs. Keep the same total number of good cards. Don't put in the jank.
Can you imagine if you get a really good card from, a repacked Legends card, and the printer, not the printer, the packager like does a printer line across it? Ugh.
Or how about this? To really, what are we, 43 minutes in? To really fuck with stuff. 3% of boxes have all good cards. Purposefully make God boxes.
I would have rather had random pack inserts.
Imagine that. Or random God packs.
Oh, you mean like unopened like a random pack insert in a box? I thought about the same thing. I'm like, oh my God, what a
what if instead of the chance idea to get 4 mythics in a box, like there's a chance you can get legit 4 fucking mythics in a box.
Nope.
In some of these packs, we're gonna put foil Imperial Seal. We're gonna put foil Dockside. We're gonna put an etched Emrakul and a textured Lily. Those packs are out there. Random. They're not like per case. They're just random. Go out there. Buy them. Golden ticket. Go out. Get them. That stuff right there would be a better seller than randomly 3% of packs. You can get something that might be a good shot. There are 30 tabernacles. These are worthwhile. Joey will get 2 and destroy 1 with an axe. Horribly destroying your dreams. Sadness.
Well, I agree with Matt that I would much rather have seen them put sealed, in random boxes, like 1 out of every 25 cases, have a sealed Legends pack in one of the pack slots instead of the collector pack. I agree with Matt on that, but they'd never do it because of the cards that exist that are socially unacceptable. They manually filtered out all the socially unacceptable cards, which I think, again, I railed on, and people think I'm just an old man, screaming at clouds. But I agree. I because then you have the option of keeping it sealed, right? And so even if it was a bullshit rare or nothing that was valuable in the pack, it's a valuable pack being sealed. And up to the audience.
I just think it's cooler to open an actual pack of Legends as opposed to a single card.
I agree. And make it far more rare.
Even that, I really like Bob's idea on that because it has that. Okay, so Emrakul, Aeon's Torn. You can't play that in Commander. Let's be honest. Magic is more or less making cards so you can play it either in Commander or Standard. That's kind of how I feel about it right now. And Modern falls in is just like the weird stepchild of that mix. So if
I'd
they
say
were to put
Pioneer is
in
weirder.
sealed legend packs, I think having those illegal or banned cards would make it even more of a thing that collectors would want to go after.
I mean,
And same thing like Bob, you've got that beautiful invasion pack, right? You got out of those right, that weird Walmart bundle. Now collectors are going to keep that stuff sealed. Same thing if you get a Legends pack, a whole sealed pack. They put in 11 Dominaria United and one sealed Legi pack. Boy, oh, that would be a whole other experience. Sealed that has a separate value. And then you can open it if you're a friggin' dumbass. Go ahead, Joey. Do it. Open up that pack, see what you get out of it. Boom, your rare is nothing worthwhile. But if you weren't a big old dummy, you could have kept that sealed and then had a higher value for it. I think that would be a great thing for them to do. And then realistically, backside, they could have saved so much money on not having to pay these people a high dollar value hourly to go in and open these packs and make all this weird content behind the scenes. Marketing, no. Get creators to do it. Those bitches will do it for free. I know I would. Contact me.
yeah. I don't know how it's going to play out, but that all being said, it's a free shot, folks. The slot that they're taking out of is a foil common. At this point in Magic's history, who gives two wrinkle farts about an unspecial version of a foil common out of a set? Like, seriously. Everybody I watch opening collector packs goes, let's just skip right past these commons, and that's what you're trading for a shot at a Legends card. So it doesn't hurt anything, right?
Yeah.
I think people are sleeping on these, and I think all these people saying, don't buy it, don't buy it. Okay, don't buy it. Cool. And then in 5 years, people that bought it are going to be sitting pretty.
I had 5 boxes of Dominaria United collectors pre-ordered, and I canceled 3 of them already. And I'm going to cancel the other 2 because I am not excited about this product. If the selling thing is that you can have a 3% chance to get a Legends card, I am not excited about this product.
I'm waiting to see if there's any cool cards that they actually print.
Now, that's the right answer. Matt actually has the most correct answer. People are poo-pooing on the product before we've even seen the spoilers.
Yeah, the Legends card doesn't make the set. It's just a cherry on top to me.
So that's the thing.
A cherry on top.
They have already put out the most important thing of this product.
No, that's not true.
I think that so far, this will be the most important thing they put out about it.
There's no price increase associated. Can you bring that up from Coach? That's a misnomer. WotC did not increase the price because of the Legends inserts. Hate to say it. This is the price increase. I keep saying it. Made a special video. We've made 2 videos on my channel about price increases so far. Nobody seems to listen or give a fuck. I'm said this 2 months ago. Hey, look, they finally did the price increase with Dominaria United. This is what you can expect moving forward, folks. Does that mean never buying a product again?
I honestly feel as though they did the price increase with Infinity after they canceled it or postponed it / Double Masters. I think this was the feels bad when people didn't get the pre-order at 228, at 255, when people realized how quickly the market was going to adjust. I think that right there was WotC saying, hey, we're going to adjust as well. I think that was them feeling out the market because that was the same time that we got that huge smack in the face of the price on DMU. I think it's pretty crazy, but when Unfinity came back around at the same time, we saw that huge jump. I've got those pre-orders for under 200 for collectors, for under 100 for a draft box. Nowadays, that's 20% higher minimum across the board. It was just
expect that moving forward, period, folks. That is, I'm going to tell you right now what I expect to see.
Clay, I hope I'm wrong too. I hope I'm wrong as shit. How happy that would make me. All 3 of us and you guys out there as well. Put the comments down below. Hashtag Pat Best Be Wrong.
Here's what I expect to see, folks, moving forward for prices for standard sets around 120, just about everywhere. For a draft
Yeah.
box, 130 to 135 for the set boxes, and 270 for collector boxes. I expect those to be your price points, and around 100 for the jumpstart. That's what I expect to see moving forward, period. So people shitting on Dominator United because, the premium, there is no premium. That's just the price moving forward. Right?
I think that we'll see set boxes down a little bit cheaper, but I think they're going to continue the same trend, sadly, that they have been of really screwing you over on what you get out of them set boxes. They're not going to make that same Kamigawa kind of mess up where it's only like 90 cards and they're all gasoline. I don't think we're going to see a lot of that anymore, which is sad. I'd like to see that, where they have a specific product where it is a bit higher chance in lottery odds. I mean, shit, that's why we got collectors products, because it's higher chance at lottery odds. So I'd like if it were a separate release where they did that, but that's not what they're doing. They're pushing it back up to 300 plus cards for a list. I think set boxes are going to be the next item on the block.
Let's address Coach's statement there. All right, lot to unpack here. This is a lot to unpack. First of all, you're referencing a price at secondary market values. WotC's price increase only affects the price.
Yeah, but what about that Crimson Vow that's just as shitty and just as cheap?
So no, coach. Yeah. That is you've got it completely out of context. Yeah. The 11% price increase is the wholesale price increase to the distributors, which we don't even see. But Rudy said used to be around, what did he say? 150 to 170, because there's a variance in pricing based on the quantity that you purchase. But they don't even have an exact number.
Well, but Rudy has the exact number, but he doesn't want to give it to us because it's
no, he says his numbers, right? But he gets different numbers than LGSs do. Like depending on how much you buy, there's a tiered structure as to what the prices are that even the distributors give to you. So the price is at 140. The reason that we see these collector boxes, you see it for Midnight Hunt, AFR, Crimson Vow, even Kaldheim down below what the release prices were. Those are secondary market prices that you're looking at. Those are not the primary prices from WotC to the distributor to the LGS or the other retailer that you're buying them from.
Yeah.
So no, the only reason that the boxes are at that pre-order approximately 270 as of right now, 265 to 270 price, is that's the price that the resellers are selling based off of their purchase price plus fees and what they have to make some sort of profit off of it. Right now, the Commander Legends Baldur's Gate, which Rudy said that they were selling, their distributor price was like $220 a box. And they're below the price that they purchased them at. They're just trying to get rid of them.
It's just
that's
trying to recoup money. Yeah.
So saying that you're seeing these at 140 and expecting at 155, first of all, understand if there's an 11% more markup, you're going to have markups on top of the markups because it's going to be a signal flare to the distributors that they need to make a markup, and so does the reseller after that. So you're going to have percentage markups from WotC, the distributor, and the retailer. So it's going to be much higher than 11%, which is why we're seeing 20 to 50% higher prices than we did in the past. So, I'll take that back,
as well. It's been a long time coming. Certainly I think we had a conversation off air for a while, Bob, that the prices of Magic haven't really increased very much. I mean, it was just shy of $3 to buy a pack 25 years ago. Now it's just shy of $4 to buy a pack. It's pretty crazy how stable the market price has been for buying these. I mean, as Matt's pulling up right now, we can see that Wizards pricing has definitely changed a lot, but the way that they're producing the cards, that's really one of the things that's keeping everything stable, is just the sheer amount of volume that they're putting out.
Yeah, if you're posting Rudy's, he acknowledged if you actually watch the video, he said these are not the actual prices.
Yeah, these are guesstimates.
No, he said they're intentionally lower than what they actually are.
Yeah, but this still gives a
Because
good
he was
idea.
trying to do a worst case scenario. What he was the purpose of this is not the price to to depict the price of the boxes because he didn't want to get in trouble. But he said, I'm telling you right now, these prices I'm giving you are actually lower than the real prices because that would decrease the number of boxes. He was giving a doomsday scenario on the number of boxes, saying not even close to 1 million boxes of draft. And that's what the point of that video was. And so he intentionally lowered all the prices that are on there. But in other videos, if you listen to Rudy, he'll tell you that the wholesale price, and he said it straight up, wholesale price on these collector boxes were $170, and that was for like AFR, Midnight Hunt, even Kamigawa. But on Commander Legends Baldur's Gate, which is why he was so pissed off for over 2 months, is that he was paying $220 a box plus, and they're like sub 200 already. So everybody's taking a bath on the Commander Legends Baldur's Gate. You got to pick and choose like what the numbers are. And I'm just please watch a shit ton of Rudy videos. I do watch them every day, and he gives you golden gems in there that are awesome if you filter through instead of what he's saying, but listen to the little facts that he spits out every now and then. And over time, you can gather enough information to get a pretty good picture. So essentially what I believe is happening is that we're seeing, I think, the collector box prices, that they increased those even higher because there was something that he said that it was, or Watts even said it themselves, that it was like the standard products and maybe not even the collector products that were having the 11% increase. So we don't know what the price increase that they're charging for like the collector boxes is, I believe. I don't quote me on that one. That's not a hard fact, but I'm seeing a disproportionate increase in collector box prices because they were around 200. Now they're around 270. They were 270 for Commander Legends Baldur's Gate. They were 275 for Double Masters. They're 270-ish before the hype, before the Legends announcement. They were sitting at 270 on Amazon, which I think Amazon with their initial price postings is what the expected new MSRP is supposed to be. So I think that's a pretty good gauge. I mean, that's just a tinfoil hat theory right there. But
I mean, realistically, that
around
is the MSRP, right?
What's that?
You can't say that TCG player is the manufacturer's suggested retail price.
No.
They're not really the outlet for it.
No.
When you think about Amazon, that's the outlet for sellers. And when Wizards of the Coast puts their products through Amazon, it almost feels as though that's the price. And I think that is where most other companies or individual sellers kind of put their price points at. When you see, hey, it's $255 for a certain product, you say, okay, I'll undercut it by 10%. I'll put it up on TCG Player for this. Cool. You now have a standpoint. No one's going to release what they're getting their stuff at. It's the same thing with like buying toilet paper or drugs for that fact. No one's going to tell you what their price is, just what your price
What's
is.
the MSRP on drugs?
Yeah, right. Well, I had someone
whatever you can afford. What you got?
He says, how much does it cost you? And I said, no. How much is it going to cost you? That's the conversation. And realistically, that is the conversation.
Yes.
Is it not about what we're getting stuff from the LGS, what their price is? It's what our price is. And when they cannot sell the product, their price keeps going down and down and down. But on the flip side, with Double Masters 22, when they can sell it, the price just keeps going up and up and up.
There's something weird that I came across the other day when I was picking my prize for winning first place in the Jake and Joel or Magic's League. For whatever reason,
Congratulations, by the way.
The
pat on the back from Pat the Pauper.
The bundles for Commander Legends Baldur's Gates are 50 plus, and I don't know why. I cannot figure it out. There's only 8 packs. They're set packs, and so a set box is 93. So it's not like they're inflated in there. But bundles across the board, if you go on Amazon, if you go on TCG Player, for some reason,
it's the price per pack,
$49 to $50. And it's not true though, because You can go buy a set booster for 93, a set box booster for 93. And there's 24
Okay,
packs, isn't there?
But
And
there's
you-
always been a little bit of markup because of the land packs. Plus, there's always been a little bit of markup because you have the promo card that's in there, you have
There's
the
a
die
lot
that's
of
in
bit of
there, you have the
markup.
land packs that's in there, you have the box itself, which is at least a good $5 to $7 value. So it's the increased price of packs if you're comparing it versus other sets, right? Because if you look, there's only 18 packs in a set box for Commander Legends Baldur's Gate, and there are 24 packs in other sets.
Oh, was there only 18 in a
Yes.
set?
That's one of the big things I kept talking about, and I'm sorry I didn't mean to smack DJ in the face so hard because he was saying, "Oh, the pull rates are lower." No, the pull rates. There's somebody out there. God, I wish I could find that video where they said that, on a per pack basis, like out of 18 packs, the number of mythics and rares that you would get was exactly the same in Baldur's Gate as it is for other sets.
Oh, they're down to $81 for a set box now. What?
Yeah, Coach. That's a bigger deal that people didn't make a big deal out of, and I thought it was a shit thing that they did.
I thought they
I think that we're going to see
the amount
this
of rares or some shit.
This is what I think we're going to see happen a whole lot more, folks.
Absolutely right. 100%. 18.
Is that you're going to see decreases in number of packs at the same price points to make it feel like we're not getting charged more. Because if you look at it, the price point for the Jumpstart at 24 packs at $80 out there, and realistically, the original MSRP was around 100 to 120.
Higher value,
right? Is they cut out 25% of the product to charge the same price at release. That's terrible. That's like, and I think the professor said it. It's like, ugh, it was awful.
Price versus value. They were taking out the value, but keeping the same price. That's how they're making more money.
And it's going to be a combination. I think Brian has it correct there. It's going to be a combination of this price increase with sort of blurring the lines. They're going to make this whole transition period to the higher price points very blurry intentionally. How can we confuse the market with price increases? They did it right on the back of a Double Masters, which is an expensive price set. And then they do the price increase right after it. So it doesn't, well, at least they're not $300 a box, kind of feeling. So they're doing this to transition us, folks. I mean, we've said it. Matt and I uncovered this last year and did a video about it, like October, about the price increase. Didn't they say they were going to do like a 15% price increase back then? That never materialized.
I thought it was
last
10,
year.
but I don't remember.
And, it finally hit. And that's when I saw it. I'm like, there it is. Dominaria United. That's the one. That's where they're going to do it. Dominaria United. And they did it. So I'll be surprised. I could be wrong. I understand, folks. I can be wrong about a lot of this. But I'm telling you, I believe this is what we're going to expect for prices moving forward.
Coach just got it right. He's calling it right there. It's that shrinkflation. As far as the market's finally been pushing and pushing, Wizards finally got to the point where, hey, we got to charge a bit more, to cover everyone, getting a little bit of money out of this project. The distributors are making money. The LGS is making a bit of money. All along the chain, people are getting that extra couple of points. So I think this was finally the time where people just had to say, hey, we need a little bit more. So all along the supply chain, I think this is really where the increase is. Same thing like we're seeing in all sorts of other markets, building materials, food chain, not just the card, but actual distribution of bacon. I think we're seeing that little bit of increase all across the board. And this is finally where it got to the point where, Hasbro as a company said, hey guys, we need more money out of you. The rest of us aren't making enough. You're not going to see Battleship 2 live in theaters. No, of course not. But some people are still buying Magic cards. And Watsy's got to cover the rest of Hasbro. Pack opening addict, he's got it right. That's how I'm seeing it too.
So here, I'll make this. I'll go bold. I'll go really bold. If I'm incorrect about this being the new norm for price increases across the board, because this is a standard set, And I don't know what would be a good time frame to make this acquiescence. Next spring, give 3 sets from now, 3 standard sets. Would that be fair enough to see the price adjustment?
Yeah,
up to you.
yeah, we'll be full.
Are we not already seeing it? I'm confused.
What I'm saying is, if it's not the new standard, because the argument was you shouldn't buy Dominaria United collector boxes because they charge a premium price, and I'm arguing that's not a premium price. That's just a price increase.
Right, that's just the price.
Infinity's done the same thing though, so there's already 2 sets now that have shown the price increase.
Oh, okay, I agree, but that's what I'm saying. But people are poo-pooing on Dominaria United not because of the price increase in general, but because they feel that Legends is the reason that it's in there, and that's the reason we shouldn't buy it. No, and I think that's a wrong-headed argument, and I'm so convinced about. I'm sorry.
No, it's the first time someone bought an expensive hot dog. It used to go down in the store. Bologna was 99 cents. That shit's $4.99 to buy Wonder Bar bologna now. This is what it is, boys and girls. Sorry to say, but Magic's not as cheap as it used to be. I'd like if it was for you and me, but it isn't. You just wait and see.
I'll say this. How's this? I'll make this promise to the viewers that are watching here. So if by the set after Brothers War, whatever that is, standard set. I'm not talking about non-standard sets. I'm talking about standard sets.
Nope.
If these are not the standard price increases, or within, what do you say, 5%? Is that fair enough?
Yeah, five's a solid figure.
And I'm talking about the release prices that we see. I don't even know where to get a good gauge, because it's a secondary market that people are looking at for the markups and the markdowns.
Yeah.
But if these like $270 collector boxes and $135 set boxes and $120 draft boxes, if that's not the standard pricing that we just all come to accept as a standard price, I'll go ahead and open a collector box of Double Masters 22 on stream.
Oh no!
I will open product. You know I don't want to do it. You know I hate doing it.
I know. It just sounds so stupid.
Even at that,
people want me to open stuff. Right?
Yeah, I get it.
Everybody, when I flash this, they're like, open it. No.
I just found the Baldur's Gate bundle for $38.
A certain volume when you're buying at a certain level helps you get that better price point. I think that's why a lot of people still stick with Rudy. People that are that higher investor type class. You're not buying a couple of packs. You're not just splurging and buying a whole box. You're splurging and buying a whole case. So absolutely, getting that better buy-in value gets you a better price point across the board. That's one of the reasons why people want to buy, a collector box versus 4 loose packs. You're definitely getting in at a better point, and everybody's got to make their money up that food chain. There's a lot of stuff to be covered by distributors. The way that they're getting that product out to you, there's a lot to be said in their chain as well. So it's tough to say.
I'm going to share something with you guys. So, oh boy, I'll even share here. This is
share the bear.
All right.
Yeah.
So, does anybody want to grab a calculator and tell me what my price per box is?
For what?
It's on the screen.
Oh, it's Dominaria. I was like, that's really cheap for Double Masters.
Trying to scrunch in real quick. What does that say?
1,277.82. Divided by 6.
It's actually on the screen, but
$106 a box.
No. There's 6 boxes.
26, so that's $212.
Yes, and it's actually even on the screen there, $212.97. That's what I paid for Dominaria United.
Yeah.
Collector boxes. Okay. So, yes, the idea that you can get these things cheaper out there if you're a wise shopper and you buy things at the right time, at the right place, and have faith in it, et cetera, you can get these prices, right? I'm not talking about the price that some people can get them for in corner cases. I'm talking about the average expected and accepted prices out there. This is I don't get any special pricing. This was not a special pricing for me. I got this pricing because I was actually on. I'll tell you where I got it. I got it at Game Nerds, and I was on it. I was on the site live during the announcement of Dominator United to see if they had something that was like super hyped. And I'll give a shout out to Lance. He's the one that poked me to be watching. He said, "Careful, I have a feeling there's going to be a hot news topic." So, yes, I paid retail, shipped to my door, $212 a box for the collector boxes. You want to know I got my 2022 boxes? I got them cheap as well. Over all 18 boxes that I have, I think my cost basis was $230 per box, collector boxes. My draft boxes were $240 a piece. So yes, as a wise retail shopper, and that's all I am, as a retail shopper, and if you're early enough, yes, you can buy boxes cheaper than the average retail. I'll take that bet, Coach. I don't mind. But I mean, ever? I don't know. Maybe for a hot minute. With these boxes, I can promise you, it doesn't really matter what they're going to drop to in a panic sell-off. Right? What's more important is not what the ultimate low is. The most important number will be, where is it in 2 years after it runs out? Right? Because my investment time frame for all of my sealed is 5 years minimum. So, eventually people will catch up to where things should be. And this is going to have a cherry on top, like Matt put it. This is a cost nothing extra for getting it. Yeah, and you shouldn't buy it the most hype period of time. Well, these are collector boxes, Paul, so there is no shortcut on a collector box. They're one and done.
Yeah, no, Bob. I think Pac's absolutely right. You did solid. That's a great buy, good price. And at the same time, it's showing that we are getting it's like why unions have power. When people say what they're paying, what they're getting paid for their money, what they expend for their insurance at work, what they have in their 401k, people are more open about things. So by saying what you're paying or get paid, you're able to help other people gauge the market as well. Saying, hey, I push carts. Why don't I get paid as much as people that pick up the lumber outside of the yard? That's why unions have power, is an ability to see what things are really worth. So when people are able to share this price, that stuff's really helpful. I think that by giving that behind the curtains kind of thing, it really assists other people in kind of valuations as well.
I think that a large part of the Magic market suffers from extreme short-sightedness.
I mean, when the professor does his booster box breaks, the booster box game, every single video from video 1 of that entire series, he tells you what it costs. And he has that gate to get through, which gives you that idea of, hey, if I'm an average person breaking a box, is this worth it? This is what it would cost in my LGS. That stuff really assists the regular buyer and player. That's one of the things I love seeing about these other channels, is that they bring in that price point as well, because we all really care about that.
I think Rudy did an awesome job this week of breaking down the numbers since they finally released some numbers, and then he did a second video today, if you all watched it, about print runs, right? And Kamigawa was a baller set. They gave the best numbers. The only issue I have is I don't know what meaning 100,000 boxes has, or 150,000 boxes, and what the difference is between the two. I don't know the market absorption rates for things, and I wish that he would have gone into more detail for that, like how many, boxes he sold, and he thinks he buys less than 1% of Watsy's total output anyway. So it's, it's a very difficult thing to gauge. And as far as cutting print runs off early, well, Dominaria did very, very well in the first case, the first time it came out, and they cut that off early. Some unknown, bizarre reason. They've cut off products early multiple times. I think Ikoria was cut off early. Core 2021 was cut off early. I'm going to bet that Baldur's Gate gets cut off early. But that doesn't necessarily mean run out and buy it right now. There's going to always be the next new flashy, shiny thing, which is what I was alluding to a few minutes ago, that the Magic market right now seems super short-sighted. Instead of buying the products because they have good fundamentals, they have good cards, they're good set, they're well received, all that stuff. It's about price. Oh, look, it's bottom floor pricing. I'll say this right now about the original Jumpstart. I think it's been undervalued for a long time now. It went sub 100 like months and months ago.
Yeah,
it's still cheap.
What's that?
I think it's still cheap, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like $80 a box if you shop wise. It's been floating in there that you could get it between. I've seen it as low as $72 a box if you bought like a case.
Yeah, I got a case that was really cheap.
So there's a lot of wise shopping out there, and I don't think that people should buy into the hype. But there are often times, look at you Double Masters in 2020, where pre-ordering gets you a great price. Right? If you had bought before, it zoomed to the moon. If you bought Commander Legends collector boxes before it went to the moon,
I also remember when Bob said he wasn't pre-ordering this year, but I also remember when we
never said that. I said that I need to see the releases before I pre-order. Right.
I was just going to continue into saying I also remember when we didn't have Imperial Seal and Mana Vault and Legends cards. I remember when Wizards 6 months ago didn't tell us the things that they have said now.
I won't pre-order
months from now.
Just
dude, man. Okay, right here. All fucking honesty. One of my favorite Magic the Gathering content creators. It's the Dude Man. I love this dude. Every single video he puts out, I watch. I enjoy this guy's personality. Big ups. Dude, man, you're good people. Keep that shit up, brother. That was it. Big shout out. That guy's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I never said that I wouldn't buy. I said I've been saying since last year that Double Masters is what I'm targeting. I said for all of the standard sets, I want to see the pre-release. The Legends, or I'm not pre-release. I want to see the spoilers, right? I did cut against the grain on this one because the pure sugar on top of the Legends card, it just has to be a halfway decent collector box set. I'm telling you, y'all are gonna. I want to have the same conversation in 2 years, right? Looking back at Dominaria United, going, "Wow, yeah, you know what? It was just sugar sprinkled on top. It was just a freebie. It was just the list slot.
Yeah, it was just not extra foils. Yep.
So
I'd love to.
Yes, I did pre-order it without seeing all of the spoilers, but I got a big enough single spoiler on it. I didn't just buy it sight unseen like I did with Double Masters. Double Masters, I knew I was going to buy because I just had faith that this is a product that they have a flagship line every year now. Seems to be their business model, whether it's Double Masters, Modern Horizons 2, Double Masters 2022. They seem to target one set every year that's just going to be the pure fire set. And absolutely, Coach, that is absolutely what it was. I had no intention of ordering Dominaria until they said they're inserting Legends into it. And when I saw that, I'm like, oh, man, down the road, hello, Zendikar, that having a shot at old school out-of-print cards, I think they're going to be in much better condition than most other people think that they're going to be.
I mean,
love
for
you,
me,
but I think they're
Masters
going to be in good shape.
I was waiting for Double Masters 2 since October almost when they announced it at the big thing last year. I've been waiting months and months for this. And as we got closer and they released the announcement of the textured foils, I got even more excited. And I'll be honest, with the track printing error of the Anguish Unmakings in the foil spots, the etch foils, I'm even more excited. Realistically, that means some of these cards are even more rare because of this mistake. Getting a Phyrexian Altar in an etch foil, oh boy, that's going to be real difficult. So I like that aspect.
If you want my tinfoil hat, and it's not even really a tinfoil hat, you guys should already know, I've said it publicly, what my next targeted set is next year. The set I think for right now is going to be, we'll see in August when they announce the lineup, but I have a feeling.
Oh, Pokemon 2023. Absolutely,
No.
Bob. I'm with you.
No, in 2023. It's the only one we even know of in 2023.
No, I'm fucking with you, dude.
In 2023, we're expecting the release of the Lord of the Rings set. What do we know about the Lord of the Rings set? It's going to be a straight to modern. Huh?
I said it was going to disappoint most players.
It's a straight to modern set.
Yeah, no.
So name the last two straight to modern sets.
That they're not always as awesome as we want them to be.
What are the last two? Name the two last straight to modern sets.
Well, Modern Horizons 2.
That's one of them.
I don't know the other one.
Tell you.
And Modern Horizons 1.
Oh, well.
Right? Both of those suck ass, right? Those are terrible sets.
True.
No, those were good, but bear with me. What were the last two crossover sets?
Now that, but we'll have to see. But those were D&D.
So I think that for that it is 1 point, 2 points versus 2 points. The last two crossover sets were both Adventures in Forgotten Realms.
But so obviously the Baldur's Gate one is a real head scratcher because it was a commander set, which there were two ways that could go. And I had the fear. We said it before they even did any spoilers. I said, God, I hope they don't AFR this set. I hope it's not AFR 2.0.
Yeah. Imagine that. If they adventure in your forgotten Modern Horizon.
Oh, God. Like, at this point, I think they're going to have a large hill to climb to push any more D&D crossovers in Magic.
Adventures in the Forgotten Realms, Lord of the Rings edition.
Yeah, well, what it is it's the Adventures in Forgotten Value. And it's like, God, these are terrible.
I just bought 3. I literally just placed an order for 3 set boosters of Baldur's Gate.
Well, and I guess that's part of it. Knowing that Wizards makes most of their
I might want to get a case of the draft from you.
18 to 24 months in advance. Does Wizards production team 12 months ago know that their modern product based around Forgotten Realms is going to be terrible? How far are we into their production of knowing this is a bad line of cards to keep producing? We don't care for this product line. I don't think anybody is really excited for Adventures in the Forgotten Realms anything at this point.
Nope.
And if they come out with another product of it, if there are class types, warrior, cleric, wizards, if they put that in Brothers War or Dominaria United, you know how Zendikar Rising I'm going to feel? Very bad. Expeditiously so.
So, again, the set that I'm targeting next year, because it's a non-standard set, what I'm starting to save my money up for, yeah, I'll admit, Dominaria United was an anomaly. And as a matter of fact, with all the rumors that were swirling before the announcement, I didn't think they were going to put Legends in there. Really didn't. I was like, I don't understand why they even have to. And I understand Rudy's point when he said that, it was the sugar to help the pill go down. A spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. And I think that's what they did here.
It's also hard to follow double masters. They had to do something
but I think,
crazy.
What's funny is I think they made a mistake by doing this because I think we have a lot of incorrect association. You have a non sequitur argument, right? That the sugar to help the medicine go down was the Legends, but then they didn't give you the medicine along with it. Meaning, supposed to help the price increase be more palatable, but instead you have an incorrect association that the price increase is because of the legends being in there. And
Yeah,
that's
they haven't given us anything to be happy for about the actual set itself.
right. I think that they should have announced the legends as they did the spoilers, right? So that people are excited about the set for the set, and then to help get past the price bump, announce, oh, by the way, we're putting legends in there as well. That should have been like a last day sort of thing.
I feel like they wanted pre-orders to be higher.
Well, we are.
Well, but what they're causing now is almost a backlash because people think that they're that expensive because of legends, and that's just not the case.
We are going to see some inclusion of spoilers, a Johnny completed, and some other Phyrexian, most likely as well. So I think this set, when we get to spoiler season, will have a lot more surprising good things in it. I think there's going to be a lot to go along with this set, not just the Legends cards being inserted in the collector's packs, but to Matt's point, I am 100% behind the idea that this is only because they are following up Double Masters 2, knowing that the single biggest set of the whole year came out a month ago. What are we going to do to get the money after this? Black Panther comes out in theaters, sets absolute records. What's the next thing you're going to do? Oh, I got to get the whole Marvel team together. We got to make another big blockbuster. That's Wizards for the next 3.5 years.
Well, but just like the Marvel franchise, since then, when you have the biggest hype train, like Dude Man says, 400% profit in 3 years, that is an unsustainable track record.
Absolutely.
And if you squeeze the lemon,
where Chadwick dies, and all of the people have either been great snapped, and you got nothing left to do. That's what we're going to be left with in 2025, when the power creep has crept so much that everything is special, nothing really is, everything is textured, and nothing matters. What do? That's the big worry for me, is that existential angst when it comes to this trading card game.
I have a feeling, Coach, and I could be totally off base and wrong, but I think the Lord of the Rings set is probably going to be their same slot that Modern Horizons 2 is in and Double Master. So I think it's going to be more of a summer release.
I want it to be so good. I want it to shake my lightning greaves and give me a fancy hat and a chaos wand. I want it to be all the good stuff. I want Warhammer 40K to be the best thing I've ever seen for a crossover. I legitimately hope it is, but they're going to fuck up my Space Marines and Astartes Warriors. I know it. I get that.
So technically, actually, in the last two crossovers, Warhammer and Fortnite.
Yeah, but Fortnite sucks.
I'm super excited for the Swarm. The Swarm deck looks cool.
So I bought 2 of everything, Matt, just because I know this shit's going to get wild. The one they released already, that's not the good one. There's other goodies. Oh, there's all sorts of tasty treats for us, brother.
I'm excited.
So we'll see. But
Hunter. There's a great deck coming up, not released yet. Best of the best. Yeah, I'm with you, Pat.
For the Lord of the Rings, that is... It's not, it's the only set we really know that they're coming out with next year. That's the only one they've announced.
Ooh,
but knowing that it's straight to Modern is...
That's what we'll do next week. What? I have a timeline of all the code names of all the sets they're going to release next year.
Yeah, they were very weird.
Yeah, hey, I don't know. A lot of people haven't covered this. Between me, you, and a couple other creators, Pack Opening Addict, he's not going to take this one. So they already released the timeline of time of the season and code names for all the products that they're going to release next year. So a great speculation we can do is all these weird friggin' names that they got. Oh boy, me, you guys in the comment section as well. We would have a great time speculating on code name War Falcon. Ooh, where are they going to next? Kaladesh 2? I'd love it. How about you?
Yeah, I love steampunk. I'd love to see a real steampunk world.
Fun to open, phenomenal.
But knowing that it's a straight to modern set, and the last two modern sets that they've released seems to be something that they really hang their hats on to make valuable sets out of. I'm hoping that that's going to be it. I'm saving my money for that set. I don't think I'm going to buy it sight unseen, though. I think that there's too much risk for it. If there's another double Masters set,
Ooh.
okay.
Oh, how about
I don't
that?
think we're going to see one next year. I think it'll be, 2024 waiting for another master set. It's every 2 years usually. But
I like that.
I think that would be the set to target next year for anything. I can tell you what, the standard sets just don't excite me in general. The only thing that excited me with this is the freebie shot at a Legends, and I have a feeling people are going to be singing a very different tune as soon as we start seeing a Pendrell Veil opening, a Eureka, and all these other, $500 cards, $700 cards, even $50, $100 cards. So
I'm more leaning towards what Clay's got here. I'm not buying any Dominaria until I see it. I've got 2 collector boxes on that pre-order, and right now I'm just about ready to cancel those 2. There's nothing great in those to me except this random chance insertion at a random chance of other cards. It's like the listiest of list spots ever. I think this is going to be the gimmick. I personally feel a lot of buyers that held off from Double Masters 2 are going to get burnt by this. Calling it now, 8/6/2022, 8:32 p.m. Pat says you're buying this, you're probably getting burnt. Personal thought.
Oh, I agree that if you're spending the same amount of money pound for pound, and it's $300 for a collector box of Dominaria, $300 for a box of Double Masters, if you don't already have your position in Double Masters, I can't express that enough. But I've been singing that for almost a year now. On to the next. I've got my position. Hopefully you guys do too.
Ooh, that would be a fun thing. I'd love for someone down there in the comment section to put a pinpoint on that. Double Masters 2 collectors and draft right now versus Dominaria in the next 1 month. What does that come out to in a year from now? Ooh, these products compared to each other.
Oh, I'll go out.
Yeah, Bob, you're
very
yeah,
limb that yeah, the Dominaria is not going to hold a candle to Double Masters.
I fucking like that. I think that's a great pause. Yeah, I mean, I just can't think Dominaria by any outstretch versus Double Masters 2. I think it's just such a home run product across the board. I think Double Masters 2022 is just the way to be for me.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're still sinking money into Modern Horizons 2, okay, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, Rudy just ran a Modern Horizons 2 sale yesterday.
Yeah. I think people are missing out on that, and that there was just a release wave that came out, recently. For Modern Horizons.
It got printed pretty heavily, so it's going to take a little while for the.
But it's still just so many staple cards, so good.
It's still good. They printed the shit out of it. I'm surprised they don't print more Double Masters. To be quite honest, I think it could use another.
Kind of nice though, as far as staples that were printed in MH2.
The reason for that,
they're still coming out at a pretty decent price. So anybody that was lacking on that or had leftover funds from Double Masters 2 might be a good spot to go ahead get those solid staples out of Modern Horizons 2.
Yeah, I mean, fetch lands, I don't know how much lower they can go. There's some that I've seen around $12, $13.
That's exactly
$12, $13 for a fetch land, folks. Yeah, okay, so it's like a Marsh Flats or whatever. But even your Misty Rainforest at $20 to $25 is
exactly.
You're going to look back and go, damn, I could have got them at $20 to $25 in mass. Now they have printed the shit out of it.
We're exactly on the same point. One of the reasons why I'm not cracking a whole lot right now is I'm getting some singles. I've come to realize, hey, I could spend $80 on a cheap box of like Crimson Vow, Midnight Hunt, something like that. Maybe some set I don't really care about opening just for video content, or I could get 4, 5 fetch lands. Jeez Louise. What are you talking about? A box of Midnight Hunt or 5 fetch lands? Get the fuck out of here. I
Yeah.
mean,
Open your box of disappointment, or you could have 5 cards you absolutely love.
That's not a conversation. That's a that's a meme.
Or even, look at it this way. How about, I've seen Force of Negation down around $35.
Oh boy, like this is the time. Like,
I mean, yeah.
The money I'm not going to spend on Dominator United because I'm so unexcited for it, I will instead turn around and buy all of these incredible cards that were just printed in the last 18 months that people are really just looking over and past. The Cultivated Colossus, ooh, that would be a great buy. Darksteel Plate, boy, Indestructible Commander, that sounds phenomenal. $4. Get out of here. You're all of these bounce lands are like 50 cents, $1.50 if you want the really cool ones. Buyer's market.
Yeah, I mean, I still think we have some downward pressure on Double Masters. The sales have slowed for the collector boxes that I've been tracking. But I think we're at a point because they stepped on it. They cannibalized Double Masters by announcing the Legends collector boxes, which I think is a mistake. I mean, I don't know. So many weird choices by WotC lately, and I don't want to. I don't agree with Pat that you don't want to buy Dominator United. I agree more with Matt that I want to wait and see what they have to offer before saying I don't want it.
Yeah, I have no idea if I want it. Right now, I'm just kind of whatever. I'm indifferent.
There's a lot of hate for it. What I'm saying is just unwarranted.
Hey, my interest is Midland at this point, where I'm not excited for it. I'd like to see what they've got. Don't get me wrong. I just haven't had this meal yet. Maybe I'll look forward to it. But it's not all you can eat Korean barbecue. Oh, my mouth just got excited for that. This isn't that. But
human nature hasn't changed, right? People love that gambler's premium, the Schrodinger's pack theory. It's not unique to this set. It's not unique to Dominator United. But the chance of hitting that kind of high card, you don't have that in Streets of New Capenna. There's nothing you could even possibly pull out of Streets of New Capenna that is in that $500 to $600 to $1,000 to $4,000 to $8,000 range. Nothing even close.
One of the things I think we'll see a really big impact on is if anybody gets those big lottery tickets when those go up for sale, because those are the original cards. Those are Legends cards. They're not reprints affecting those original printings. These are original printing cards going up. So any of those that sell for a lower price, fuck right over anything that was a higher value. If you have a $2,000 card and someone sells it for $150, your market value just went right down the drain. So I think, unfortunately, we'll see a lot of content creators that need to do it because they can't make it by otherwise, selling those kind of things right off really fast on TCG and eBay. Because why are textured foils not really expensive? Because people sell the things. Because people are going to pull those tabernacles and sell those things. That's my thought, worry, expectation, is that people are going to get those really high quality hits, those super valuable cards, and they're going to turn around and put them on the secondary market, therefore screwing over anybody that's invested for 25 years.
There's not going to be nearly enough of them to affect the market. Not even close.
But what is the number that's enough? 5?
Oh, you'd have to go way higher than that.
I think 100 of every card could hit, and it still wouldn't. It would maybe ding the market 5%.
And there's not even close to 100 that we're going to be open at best.
It comes to
would already say that we're looking at like 30
sale. I mean, how many of these cards are actually for sale? how many of these really expensive cards that they're toting to put in are available. I mean, if I wanted to buy,
you're going to bring out the whales at that point that are going to snap those cards up because they've been doing it for so many years, and they're going to snap those high price ones. They won't allow them to get down to that $150 mark. Those Tabernacle at Pendrell Vales, they're not going to be hitting the market in mass, and the ones that do hit, you're probably going to have collectors that have the money already that are just going to snap them up to add to their collections.
I'll say there's 36 Tabernacles on TCG at the moment, most of which are damaged or heavily played.
Right.
So near mint, there's 14.
At what price?
3,800 for the lowest.
Right. So, yeah, and that's 15 of them. I don't think we're going to see 15 out of these collector packs.
Yeah, because a decent bit of people that pull these are going to keep them.
5.
Oh yeah, but what I'm saying is I don't even think that we would see more than 30 pulled. Period. And that's an optimistic number. And I agree with you, Matt, that out of those 30 that end up getting pulled, if they're pulled and not kept sealed, like if everyone gets pulled serendipitously, that even if all 30 of those hit the market at once, you might see it push down to like $2,000 until it sells through, and then they'll go right back up.
Oh, I don't think it's going to cut in half.
I don't think so either. I'm just saying that's a worst case scenario. So I don't think that you would see them push the market prices down, because I think as soon as you start seeing near mint ones start hitting it around 3,600, 3,500, 3,400, 3,200, they're all going to get snapped up.
Rudy's going to buy them all.
And he would. I bet he would. And there's
them.
not just Rudy out there, folks. I mean,
yeah, there's other
Rudy
people.
said it many times. There's many people that he knows that, the open boosters types that go out and buy 10 copies of hyper expensive cards. So,
favorite thing, hopefully the next 6 months, is I see Joey Moss take a big fucking sharp hatchet and he cuts one of them in half. I think that would just be the most wonderful thing in the just for the records. I think that would be great. Just put that on video. Jump.
I don't want to see it because I think it's disrespectful to the cards. I don't like people destroying cards of value.
I hated the pack
cheap cards.
Battle Rip It things or whatever. Rip it or flip it or whatever the fuck it's called. I hated that. It made no sense to me.
I'm not much into parlor tricks, in case you guys aren't aware. I'm not much in. I want to give you guys content. I would rather give you an opinion that you hate to hear and tell me I'm a bubble-headed ninny muggins than set a card on a stick of dynamite and blow it up to get views. I want to talk real Magic to real people about how they really feel about things, not some carnival stuff. A sealed pack up my bum and then poop it out tomorrow and see how it comes out to see how watertight it is. I've
got a real story about Rip It or Flip It.
I just want to destroy Everquill Phoenix over and over and over and over and then again.
There was it was during Innistrad, the original Innistrad, where there was a Huntmaster of the Fells that got ripped because they ripped the whole pack at once. And I remember I'm like, hey, can I buy that for like $1? And then they were like, yeah, sure, it's worth nothing. I'm like, okay. So I bought it for $1, and it's still tournament legal. You tape it back together, and you just use the insert in your deck, and you can actually still use it. So at the time, Huntmaster was like, I don't know, $30 or $40 or something, and I got it for $1. It was actually pretty good.
Oh, dude, that's a great name for the next Unglued set. Unmastered.
Let's say Rip It or Flip It.
You just take like all of the incredible Masters products, and then you put them all together and make a really distorted version of them. I think that would be a really fun little series to do. Unmastered. That one's on Pat.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as we start seeing any cards of value get hit, and we will see cards of value get pulled out of some of these, there's too many YouTube content creators, right, that are going to be opening Dominaria United collector boxes just for that. We're going to run into a drought here, folks. There's going to be needed content.
Sure. I've got a bundle of Dominaria coming because I want it. That's the only thing I got pre-ordered. I'll wait until the set gets released.
And we're talking about 3 people here. There's 20 million players. There's like 10,000 YouTube content creators.
There's
a bunch of them order products. There's going to be a lot of it opened on YouTube.
We're the only ones.
Age of video cameras. And invariably, somebody's going to crack something big.
MCG Gaming Bob for your random pack openings.
Oh, see this right here, the sealed box topper. Guess what I'm gonna do live on stream?
Rip it
Is
in half.
keep it sealed
Oh.
because I'm gonna give that to someone else as a little present. I sent that last one to the Netherlands, so someone else could either enjoy having it sealed or opening it, enjoying that experience, and that's why I'm doing that too. Because Bob, you've helped me learn. You've helped me get better. Thank you.
What was the point of the
reached
box
somebody.
topper for the
I
set?
did it. Yatta.
What was the point of the set box topper for Streets of New Capenna? It was like the same. It was Gallagrators. Wasn't it the same for
Gallagrators.
every? Why would they do the same card for every box? Why not any randomness at all?
I
my mind.
It's like
I
a married couple. It's like a married couple. After 30 years, they're just trying to figure out a new way to fuck you.
Well, here's the thing. I think that they had the right idea and wrong execution, because it isn't just one box topper. It depends on what language you get, because the art is different on all the different languages. What they should have done is put a potential different language box topper in each box, regardless of what language you purchased, so that you have a potential at a different art. And some of those, look at the prices. Go look at Gallagrators on TCG Player. I think you're going to be surprised.
I don't
Not
even know what the
available.
card does.
I wanted to get all like 9 or 11 or whatever they are.
You can have my English version. It's
Okay, I have
threw it-
English
threw it
versions. I
somewhere.
have multiples of the English version. That's what I'm saying. It was poor execution. They should have made an equal number of all the box toppers, but have a random chance at them being, whatever different language.
I
because of the
don't even
different
remember where
art.
I threw it.
But look on TCG Player. I think some of them, the last I looked, like the Japanese ones or the Korean ones or something, were like $125.
Why? Isn't it just guaranteed? It's guaranteed. You just open it and you get it.
And you can't buy any. They're out of stock
Oh, they're
everywhere.
out of stock? Wow.
Because they print lesser amounts of those boxes in the different foreign languages.
That makes sense.
But that's what I was saying. They should have put like those box toppers and have different art versions, even if they scale the versions and made a rarity that way. You know what I mean? They could have done the same exact thing. They already have the art. They just needed to change the collation of it, of the box toppers.
Anguish unmaking. They should have just changed the collation.
Right. I mean, it's like I keep saying it was. You know what? What's the only video, Matt, that we did shitting on a set before release even?
Schmalder.
Saying thumbs down, don't buy.
I'm blanking. I don't know.
Double feature.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we all crapped on that harder than a porter potty.
But they were this close. If you look at the secret layers, remember the secret layers that they did with the movie poster art for the monster?
bad I forgot it existed.
Right? Now imagine, had they put those in as chase cards, the movie poster arts in that set.
Yeah.
If they had just done that little bit, it would have changed that product entirely. They already even had like the artwork made. If they just wanted to take the ones from the secret layers and put them in there, they certainly had the concept, but they got hyper lazy on a premium priced product that they could have easily made such a baller, such higher sales from just doing what they hinted at.
Dave recently put out a video where he talked about wizards in a meeting. Okay, we've got this product. It's werewolves and vampires. How about we split it in half and we sell it twice? And then we take it and we put it back together and we sell it a third time. Ha 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 ha.
That's not the one. It's the Beast Within.
Yeah, we were talking about Anguish Unmaking, so I figured if they did stuff like that in double feature, just have random inserts like that would have been cool.
But they even had the movie poster art, right? It's like they keep tripping
really good product instead of delivering you the thing that you thought you were paying for and should have deserved for that price tag. Paying good artists a high salary for quality work and delivering to customers something worthwhile to keep sealed or enjoy opening. That's not what we got out of those products. That's
Yes,
not
if they had just
that's not what we're getting out of Wizards. Instead, we're getting Sagittarius lands. We're getting theme boosters being replaced by Jumpstart because it's a stopgap measure.
what I'm getting at is that they're so
go ahead,
close on so many things that they already have. I'm not even being creative. That card that Matt just showed, they announced the double feature around the same time that they released that secret lair. Right? So there was almost this assumption that they're going to have those kind of cards in double feature.
Yeah, but they're not going to put secret lair cards in another set. That would
I'm not
be silly.
saying secret lair cards. They could have done that treatment on the cards that were in the set, is what I'm saying.
Well, that was a joke because they did it recently.
And they could have taken these box toppers, which everybody just looks at and goes, fuck that, which they already had the multiple arts for the Gala Greeters. They just needed to do a different type of collation release, just a slightly different look. It's not like they even had to come up with new art. They just had to insert them differently. Giggity. And
it's all about how you insert it.
Like they're so close, but they keep tripping over their own dick. It's like, I don't understand how they could be that close and just not have their finger on the pulse of the people, which it goes back to the whole concept I said multiple times. It feels like a very top-down driven company.
100%.
Do any of you guys have any of the Neon Ink cards in hand?
Me?
Nope.
No.
I didn't buy any Kamigawa.
There was a short that was released by, I think it was Joel, and he was
you're talking about the secret lair one.
Yeah. Well, what I want to know is if the secret lair one matches the actual original Neon Ink, because I kept hearing that the Neon Ink cards were like really, really cool looking, and then he was saying that the one from Secret Lair, it didn't really hit him for it. It didn't hit it. He was like, it felt weird. It didn't look right. Like, it didn't look cool. It looked like just a normal foil. Is it really different? Oh, that's sad. That's kind of misleading. Actually, not kind of misleading. That's very misleading.
Yeah, they just had leftover ink. I said, what do we do with it?
I mean, at
they
least
all look like they were yellow too. I don't know if there's any different colors. But I don't know. It's like they get close to some things, and then they just go, oh, nope, gonna fumble the ball. 1 yard line, done. I hate that. Like, you want to know 2 ways? There's 2 things that they could have done that would have made Baldur's Gate actually pretty successful. Number 1, strip the Commander Legends title off of it. It doesn't make any sense. That the whole premise behind Commander Legends is that you're reprinting these legendary commanders. They've had a whole bunch of valuable reprinted commander cards that were legendary and valuable reprints out of Commander Legends because it's a Legends kind of thing. Well, Baldur's Gate is far from legendary. Secondly, they could have put the Dragon in there. It's a dragon set. It wasn't reprinted in Double Masters. Why didn't they put some of the bigger reprints, even if you use that rebranding like they did with Sorin and Castle Dracula, where it's just a different name, so you could fit it into the Baldur's Gate theme, but it's actually the Dragon. And how about Edgar Markov? Some of these really desired commander staples to throw in there. They just needed to put 2 cards. Had they put those 2 cards and stripped off the Commander Legends name, I think the set would have done far better.
I mean, number 1, not calling it Commander Legends 2 would have probably been the better move. And on top of that, putting in better cards. As Bob's pointed out a number of times, the dragons from Baldur's Gate wasn't really the best cycle in the world. He's got a lot of credence on that. I'll certainly give him some ground there. And by adding in some things that they had in Double Masters 2, maybe adding in some other things into Double Masters 2 instead, would have been probably the better choice for evening out cash flow coming into the company with these 2 releases. Yeah, that's probably the better idea. Did they do it? Clearly not.
No, like I said, I think that they get close, like they have the great idea, and then they just fumble it somehow. It's like, my God. I think they're fumbling it with content creators. I think they should be working directly with the content creators out there to take advantage of free labor.
Hmm.
You know, we do a lot of work for the product, and if they just worked hand in hand with us, it would make more people watch a lot more content creators, and the content creators would probably work harder to push the product. I don't understand. It's like, you know, you have people so invested in the like we're doing right now. You know, time is money, folks.
Yeah.
We just spent at my rate. Do you know what WotC would have had to pay? Like, let's add up all our salaries together for the last 2 hours of our time and effort. Let's say they just got a free $400. Is that fair?
I'm 26. Then cheap. So it costs $50
a little more than $400 then.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm just saying they just got
WotC
literally just got about $400 free from us for doing this for them, talking about their product, pushing it. All the people in the audience giving their time for free.
Mm.
Like, I don't know what my salary is. My hour salary is because I'm salary.
Your salary?
My hour salary. I don't know what my hourly rate is because I'm salary.
It sounds like a fancy sandwich.
I'm salary.
It's that
your salary.
It's got that fancy green shit on it. You know, almost tastes like avocado.
No, I'm just saying. If I'm off, I'm not far off. But I'm just saying that, you know.
Yeah. Oh, dude, if you add in the people in chat, even now.
True. Chat as well.
No, we're not saying don't buy the product, Clay. We didn't say that at all.
I'm saying reserve your right to buy the product.
I think the big message coming across for this podcast is buy the product that's right for you. Just make sure that you're informed, that you know what the product you're buying is. If you don't like it, if you don't know what it is, don't buy it. When you go down to the candy shop and you don't know what type of sweet it is, don't get it if you don't know you want to get it. Same thing when you're buying Magic. If you don't know Dominaria is for you, maybe you don't buy it. Money's not easy to get. You probably got to do some shit to get it, you know?
I have to keep readdressing this, and I say it all the time. I think you should open product, but I don't think you should open product to try to make money from it. There's a huge difference. If you're buying what you're opening Magic card, what?
It just depends on what you're opening the product for.
Right. So tell me you've never opened any of my product, Matt.
What do you mean? Your product?
You've never opened any product that I purchased.
Why would I open your product?
Sure you have. You opened one of my foil mana drains for me.
Oh, you're talking about... I thought you meant like open your product for you for... Yeah, I mean, we drafted a set of Commander Legends.
I'm just saying, I buy product and we open it, but that's what I'm saying. That was the purpose. I bought it to play with, right?
Yeah.
So I open product. Did I bring it over there because I wanted to make money?
No.
No, I did it because I wanted to have the experience of playing with friends, right? And that's what it's about. The problem I have is a lot of time people are like trying to open product and it's like they ignore the game aspect of it. And I think that you should, if you're doing it because you think it's what's going to make you get views on YouTube, fine. Although I think that's really terrible logic. And that's going to make money. If you are trying to make money, I don't know how else to express this. If you're trying to make money on Magic product, keep it sealed.
It's almost capital G guaranteed money if it's sealed.
Right. And almost a guaranteed loss if you open it. It's rare.
So there's a fine line in between both of those answers where you buy it and you sit on it and then you open it later, selling per pack to people buying it. So, for example, for me, buying a box of Collector's Modern Double Masters 2, 228 shipped. Let's call it 250. Now, let's say I tell people $90 shipped, you can get a pack. I'll open it up live on my YouTube and I'll send it out to you. $90 a pack ain't that bad. I also make a good fucking fee off it. There's something to be said about buying product, holding on to it, and then opening it.
Something taking advantage of your subscribers.
It's not even
I'm just kidding.
Like, If I lower down the rate to just below whatever market price is at that point, if I buy a box of Commander Legends and I got it at $90 because Rudy had a big old deal when I was his patron, cool. I got a box for $90. A year from now, I decide to open it up and sell to people $10 a pack. Well, I just more than doubled my money, and people are really happy about it to be able to get that product way lower than the market value. Everybody makes off on it. It's like when you decide to buy a stock and then sell it later. What's your in? What's your out? Most investors know about the exit strategy for their investments. That's a smart. When do you cut? That's a thing. But that's me. This isn't financial advice for you. This is just financial advice for me. Fuck all y'all bitches.
I truthfully don't know how I'm going to get rid of my sealed product when I decide to sell. I don't really trust eBay. eBay can suck my cock, to be honest. Don't ever sponsor us. Don't ever
I
listen
agree
to
with
us.
you there.
I will never use eBay anymore ever again. I had a couple bad experiences in a row, and I was just like, you know what? I'm done. So I don't know exactly how I'll do it. Maybe TCG. We'll see how the Channel Fireball takeover works.
Dude, just go to Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, I mean, maybe in-person sales as well would just be easier.
Yeah, and you don't. And what the thing is you don't want to sell it when you need the money. You want to sell it when it's the right time.
Roll up strapped. You're big, and if you have open carry, nobody's gonna fuck with you for a $3,000.
Ohio just passed a law that anybody can open carry, so
bro.
anyone can conceal carry, no license required. Very strange that passed, but I have a gun, so you best believe if it's a multi-thousand thing, I'll have a gun on me.
So as a big dude, I got a secret for you. Get like a 22 caliber gun in the largest size you can. So you can get remods of really big looking guns, like a huge Desert Eagle that's only got like a 22 round in it.
I've got a rifle. I can't show it because it's on stream. I don't want to get you demonetized, but I've got a nice looking rifle.
You roll up to like just grab your wallet out and you got a big old gun on your hip. Where I roll around, that shit helps.
Yeah, Clay. Matt lives like 20 minutes away from me.
Yeah, I'm in Ohio. I'm near Cleveland.
He's closer to Cleveland than I am. But I mean, exit strategy is important. I mean, that is an important thing, and that's not for this particular stream. I don't really want to get into it.
Shit, exit strategy. That reminds me of my last girlfriend, Bob.
What, having an exit strategy?
Yeah, how to get out of the relationship. Bad joke.
We need a cricket sound.
Yeah, I tried to dance off screen.
But I don't know how we got so far. I wanted to talk about Rudy and the whole video that he did. Just go watch it, and kind of follow what he's throwing down there. That I think that people way overestimate the print runs. I think it's applicable to Dominator United. I wanted to get into that, but I am starving. I need to get up and eat some food.
Yeah, we're still 2 hours in. This was a wonderful conversation, and let's all move on to the next thing. Thank you all for being here tonight. Bob, Matt, it's been wonderful. Any parting words before we go this evening?
Make it right, make it tight.
Keep it sealed, keep it safe.
Well, them's bones. Till next time, all y'all be safe. Love you.
Open all the product. Open it.